Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. I hit the wrong button so you don't get an intro today. just saying. Oh, it's been one of those days. So as you know, we have been watercoloring in the Linda Ravenscroft. Oh my goodness. Hello everyone. Let's start over. Oh dear. So hello Celine, hello Pamela, hello Calamity, hello Amy, hello Brooke. Congratulations, Brooke, that's awesome. Um, Hello Dawn, hello Ghost, hello everyone. Don't mind me, I'm just a little crazed today. It's all good. So as you can see, once the skin tone dried, it definitely isn't as orange. So it did go to a proper skin tone. I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, words. Words. Exclamation point words, people. Exclamation point words. Hello, Diane. All right, so I have already put the water on the palette so that the paints are already wet and ready to go. And we are going to use wet on dry just because I can control it better. Exactly. Words are hard. Words are hard. ah. So I hope everyone is doing well. We are in February, and February is the one month of the year that I concentrate on watercolor. I don't do watercolor well. As you may have noticed, we did not have a Monday view today for the collection of the week, and that's because I have no idea. I know nothing about watercolor. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I know how to put it on a palette and put it on the paper. I don't know anything about the mixtures, the what's good, what's bad, what's ugly. I have no idea. So I won't be doing the Monday view for things that I don't know anything about. And the Daniel Smith paints and stuff like that, I do know that they are a high quality paint. But beyond that, I know nothing. Well, that's good. I'm so glad that you're not dead or headed to jail. I'm really good with that. Hello, Crashes. That is always a start. And Ghost, you need to get together with me so that we can get you into the Discord. Now that I've got Pamela sorted out in it, it's your turn. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Pamela. I'm glad I'm somebody's hero because some days, I'm telling you, I'm frazzled tonight. Hello, Marcy. Welcome. So, just want to throw this out there just for those people that may have joined my memberships here on YouTube. Those memberships are no longer active. I have deactivated them. Um, yeah, that'd be awesome. So if you want to join my memberships, please go to Patreon with exclamation point Patreon and join up to the Patreon there. Well, Brooke, it's just basically everybody being themselves. There's no filters, no nothing. We just sit and color together. We sit, color, talk, hang out, you know. I did not block you, Pamela. I did come back into the chat so that I could tell you how to hang up from the call. Hello, Jen. So, Brooke, if you want to join us in the Discord chats, by all means, please do. You know, just come and hang out, and it's just a bunch of us that hang out and talk. I would say, other words, but we're on YouTube, so I can't do that. Shoot the poop. That's what we do. Well, it's a good thing your mic was muted. All right, so I'm going to be using a brush that came with my Grabby travel set because I love this brush. It is just the coolest brush ever. Yep, I jumped back in so that I could tell you how to turn it off. All right, so today we're going to work on her clothing as well as her hair. We're going to start with her hair. So I'm going to turn the book upside down so that I can get to her hair easier. I'm going to switch you over to actually I'm going to put you on the special camera so that you can see both. There you go. And I've got a dark brown here. I think that's the dark red brown. So this is more of a burgundy kind of brown. I'm not sure if that's the one I want to use, so I'm just going to rinse that off my brush and take a look at the other brown. I may do a combination of the two. Oh, that's just as burgundy. Hold on. I know I have a brown in here. Where's this one? Purple. And this is why you swatch your colors, people. Just saying. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to take the burgundy and I'm going to make a brown. I'll even take a bit of that purple in there. That's better. So I'm just making a brown that I want the darkness of. That's better. I want it to be a nice deep color. I think I'm even going to put a touch of black in it. Hello, Bonnie. Welcome. I'm just going to put a little bit of black on the palette, and then we're going to pick some of it up and mix it in. That's better. That's better. Now it's a nice dark, dark, dark brown, and that's what I wanted. All right. Now that we've got that mixed, I'm going to pick some of it up. And we're just going to see if we can get this to, no, this is going to be too thick. So I'm going to grab a thinner fine tip here. Now this is a really fine tipped brush. I'm just going to put in some of the dark areas. Like so. Hello, Christina. Welcome. Come down the back side here, and we're going to flick forward. Don't mind me if I go quiet. It's just me concentrating. If you start seeing smoke, don't call the fire department. It's just my brain trying to work. Now I don't like the way that thick one was, so I'm going to take that thick brush again, and I'm going to wet it down, and I'm going to try to move some of that, pick some of that up. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the paper towel, and we're just going to pick that up. Blend that in. And once it dries, I'll even put a little tiny bit of this on top of it. And once it dries, it'll blend in a little bit better. Alright, now we're just going to soften up that with our water brush. Yeah, there is a voice to text way, but I don't know how to do it. So I'm just going to take my water brush here and very gently bring that dark line in and soften it up so that it's there but it's not harsh, if that makes sense. Hello, Alex. I'm pretty sure I said hello to you when you came in. I don't know anymore. Yeah, that might not be the best way for you, dear. Ah, that is not what I wanted it to do. Wipe that off a bit. Brush is a little bit wet. We're going to leave that part alone for a minute. There's too much water there. So we're going to move down. No problem at all. If you fall asleep, you fall asleep. You are perfectly fine. This is one of those streams where I honestly don't expect a lot of people to stay awake through, except for my Aussies, because, it's middle of the day for them, and if I'm making them to fall asleep in the middle of the day, then, you know, I might need to adjust my rate of speech or something. So I'm just going through and darkening up the shadow areas and putting some contrast. I'm using a really thin pen or brush. This is a number 2, a line brush. And hopefully you guys can see without seeing the back of my hand too much. Just going through, getting some of those darker flicks in there. Yeah, that's that could be an issue. And this is, like I said, a fine point brush. It's a line brush. They come in all different lengths and thicknesses. This is a number 2. The reason why I like the number 2 is it gives me a nice long brush tip, so I can bring that up and taper it in. In very thin lines. Now I'm going to soften that just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my clean brush and I'm just going to drag it down and soften it up a little. Now my wet brush here is a little wetter than I like it, which is weird because yesterday it was too dry. Today it's too wet. Batting 1,000, people, batting 1,000. So I'm going to use a different brush. This one's a little bit thinner anyway, so And this is just a clean brush. And I'm just softening up the edge areas, cleaning up any harsh transitions there. I want the lines to stand out, but I don't want them to stand out so much that it looks like somebody drew a line on her. Oh no, why is Bill arguing with me now? If Bill would like, he could come paint instead. Hello, Kenny, welcome. You're not late, dear. I'm going to have to move on from that area. It's still a little too wet. Yep, he likes to argue with me already. He likes to pick on me. But it's okay. We still love Bill. Like, really. I hate to see you leave, but love to love to watch you walk away, Bill. That's all I'm saying. Bill is Jen's husband. All right. He does. He does. So I'm just going to roll this, make sure that it's nice and thin, because I'm coming up into an area that's right up against her skin. And we don't want little flecks of hair getting where they're not supposed to be. Sorry if I go quiet. Concentration, concentration. Yes, I'm flicking with a number 2 brush. I've done that. I did that the other day. Can't remember what I was doing, but somebody made me bite my tongue. It was horrible. All right. Okay, I almost have all the flicks in here that I want in here. And again, I'm going to go back through with the water brush and soften up those flick lines. Another one right down here. And some more up here around her ear as well. All right. I'm going to clear up the one on her face there because it's really bugging me and not making me happy at all. And then I'm going to take a little bit of her lighter hair color here. Roll the brush. We're just going to lighten that up a little. Like that. Then we're just going to take a little bit more. Lighten, twirl, and then we're going to bring that hair down. Like so. Just bringing it down a little bit further. So it looks like it's a part of it there. Now we're going to take our brush. And I think it was this one. Yeah, there's this one. Trying to figure out which brush it was. Hello, Christina. Or Christine. I can't remember if it's Christina or Christine. Exactly, exactly. As long as he is fully enabled, then it's all good. I hope you have had a great visit. So I'm just going through and softening those up with the water brush. This is really not a necessary step. It's just one that I enjoy doing because it does blend those colors and soften up those harder lines. But it's not necessary. It's not something you absolutely have to do. Me being new to watercolor and not all that great at it, find that my lines are really harsh when I do striping of things. So I like to clean them up a little. That's why I do it anyway. All right, now we're going to take this brown that we created. We're going to take a little bit of the light brown here and a little bit of the darker brown here. And we're going to mix those together. I think I want a little bit more of the lighter brown. Maybe. Maybe not. I think it's alright. Yeah, it's alright. That's alright. It is alright. Well, that's good. Okay. As long as I'm not completely butchering somebody's name, I do that often. So we're going to take the brown tone and we're going to try to stay in the lines. There's too much water on my pen. I'm going to use a different one. This one, yeah. Doing the band around her head there with some browns. Now I'm going to take just a little bit of that darker brown and we're going to mix it into this lighter area here, and we're going to do the shadow areas. Charlotte, get out of my kitchen. Then we're going to take our smaller brush here and we're just going to work that in to the shadows. And we need this one again. That color in there. I'd like it to be a little bit browner. So let's just pick up a little bit more of this brown color. Touch of water. Try not to get it too wet, but sometimes there's no avoiding it. So. Oh, nice. Well, happy birthday if it's already late. I'm sorry if we've missed it. Don't call me late for dinner and do not miss the wine. Alright, so I've rinsed off my brushes, so I used a number 1 and a number 2 for the headband here. Both are very, very thin brush. The number 1 is a little bit longer, or the number 2 is a little bit longer than the number 1. Alright, now we've got the hair sorted out. Let's go in and do some of the leaves here. And we're going to start off with the light green. Mix up this paint a little. I'm going to take it and put it on my palette, roll it around, and we're going to do the leaves. Now I don't know if I'm not sure if I want the leaves light green or brown, but with the browns that I have, I think green would probably work better, so that's what I'm going to do. And you can definitely do a wet on wet, and you can definitely use more water on this paper. It does take the water. I'm just not really good with a lot of water and keeping it in the lines, so I have a tendency to use a very dry brush. And I completely forgot to grab my dryer again. So we're going to let this air dry for a little bit, and then we'll add the next color to it. Same with here. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I like the Artex acrylic paint pens. They're actually really nice. But yes, sometimes it is really, really difficult to paint on cups and things like that. I am not even close to good at that. I did paint a glass once. But I do like the Artex acrylic brush pens. They're really nice. Hello, Della. It's good to see you. I've missed you. Well, good night, pumpkin. And good night, pumpkin husband. Enjoy your night, dear. Add a bit of water. Again, sorry if I go quiet. It's just my internal argument with the paint. Sometimes it doesn't do what I want it to do. Ah, okay. Well, I hope they appreciate you doing that. I've still missed you. So I'm just getting the base coat on, and then we'll move on to deeper colors. Hello, Catherine. Good evening, dear. I don't have a huge palette of colors with this set, so I'm just going with the colors I have and mixing as many of them to get other colors out of it. So if it doesn't look right, I'm sorry. And yes, I know I can use other sets as well, but that's cheating. I will be, however, using a set that is not the Daniel Smith for the wings. Just saying, because I have a really nice set that I just love for wings. All right, put some water down here, pick some more of this paint up. This is a really nice apple green, and I do believe that's what it's called. The more water you add, the thinner the color is, the lighter it is. Well, while you're out Uber driving, tell him that you have to go to Oregon. I have a painting class in Oregon I gotta go to. There you go. Maybe they'll pay for the gas. Thank you. I am going to be adding other greens to it. We've just got to put in the base coat first, let it dry a little bit, and then we'll add other colors. I don't want to make a mashup of colors. I want to make a layer of colors like we did with her hair. So by the time we're done this side, the other side should be nice and dry. That'd be awesome. Not hearing a neighbor snore through the wall is always a good thing. That's when you strongly suggest to him that he needs to see a sleep therapist and get a CPAP machine. Just saying. All right. So we've got some leaves under here to do. Yeah, exactly. Road trip to Oregon, all aboard. And that's not leaf. This is leaf. And this is leaf. Okay. I think that's it. For those leaves anyway, there's other leaves down, but for those leaves, that is it. Oh dear. Yeah, that might be a little yeah. Oopsie. All right, so I've got a darker green here. And we're going to take some of that and mix it in with this light green. And we're going to roll our tip until it's a fine point. And then we're going to come in and put in our leaf points. Again, I'm going to come through here. Need it a little bit finer than that, but that's okay. And we're also going to put in some shadows here from the leaves overlapping. Like so. Again, putting it in the paint, rolling it until it's a fine point. Filling in the shadow. I gotta put a little tiny bit of water on there. Try not to put too much on though. Roll it to a fine point. Oh no. Not saying you can't, just please choose another room in your house. Okay, coming down here, putting in these shadows under here as well. And under here. Ah, that'd be funny. I don't know if they would take it as funny, but I know I would. My husband used to say if it didn't disturb the neighbors, then he wasn't doing it right. Just saying. Aw, the poor puppy. Yeah, that would work. All right, so now I'm going to go with the olive type green, which is this one here. And it's a lot darker, and it'll get into the deepest of areas here. So we're going around on the other plants here. She's got other plants in her hair and in her around her ears there. It's coming through that with that darker green. And darkening that up a little bit. Like so. Alright. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this one and a little bit of this one. And some water. And we're just going to make a little bit of a medium green. Roll this out. And we're just going to go through in those medium areas and drag out a bit of that darker color. Like so. And I know it's probably going to look a little messy right now, but once it dries, it won't look as bad, I promise. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing on the other side here. I'm not quite sure what you guys are talking about. Alright, so we're going to grab some green. So we're going with the first green first of all. So this is just the dark green and the light green mixed together, giving us that medium tone. And we're going to roll our brush to a point. Thank you, Christina. I appreciate that. And again, like I said, this is not a tutorial because I have no idea what I'm doing. So you can follow me if you'd like to, but please reserve all lesson questions to the experts because I'm not one of them. I can just tell you what I have found in my journey and what I do with it. That's all I can do. And believe me, I don't know a lot. I think the biggest thing I have learned is that you can easily soften and repair harsh lines just with a clean brush. It's the biggest thing I've learned. And believe me, I use that information all the time. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, out here today was a fairly warm day. It's not like blistering hot, but we didn't get much of a winter, which is normal for out here. Hello, Christina, the other Christina. How are you? Alright, just going to bring out that dark again. Alright. I don't know how you guys can't be bored to death with watching me paint. It's like the slowest process in the world and it's so boring. Alright. And I get all quiet because I'm concentrating. Alright, I think I have them all. Yep, yeah, that definitely would be a lot to take. So now I'm going to go into the darkest color here. Put a bit of water on it. That's a bit too much water on it. And we're going to fill in the dark areas. If you find that you have too much water on the page, you can just dab it up a little bit. Like so. I want just a touch more of that darkness in there. Because I want to come in here into the dark areas of the other greenery there. so. All right. Now we're going to take a little bit of that bright green and we're going to put it into this really dark green here. A little bit more. And this is the color that we're going to use for those little bushes around her antlers here. And I'm just going to paint it on. Then I'm just going to take my paper and I'm just going to dab it up a little bit. Making sure that I'm leaving the berry areas alone because there's little areas there that have little round things, so I'm assuming they're berries. And I'm just going to leave those alone. Yes, the paint puck is definitely worth the money. I love my paint puck. You can definitely use a glass of water to get the same to do the same type of thing. However, the paint puck will pull the paint down to the bottom of the glass so that when you're painting, you don't have to worry about that water being dirty up at the top of the glass while you're painting. You're not picking up all the dirty water. Unless it's really, really dirty. So in my opinion, yes, I think that the paint puck is definitely worth the money. There is a cheaper version though that will work just as well. And it's a little puck that sits in the bottom of a glass or a glass jar. And Ashley has one of those and she says it works just as well as the paint puck. Okay, so we've got the greenery done there as well. Now, I'm just going to make sure that I have all of the areas. This is greenery here as well. There's little leaves here. And I'm going to fill in there for that little vine. Coming down off of there. Now, is there another one on the other side? No, there is not. Okay. All right. So far, that is her head area. Now, did you want to continue on the head area or do you want to let that dry and move on to her clothing? That is very true. That is very true. Oh yeah, sauerkraut is bleh. It's really, really smelly. The clothing. Okay. So we're going to move on to her top here. And we're going to start with the lightest color, which is this light teal. Again, we're going to find a place on here. And then we're going to take our white. There it is. And we're going to lighten this even more. If I can get the white open. There we go. And the reason for this is it will become evident when I use the last part. So I'm going to bring all this white in. And make it very, very, very light. That's a little lighter than I want it. So I'm going to take my other brush and I'm going to take more of this paint. And I'm going to mix that in. That's better. I want it really light, but I don't want it void of color. That makes sense. That's better. Okay. The only thing with the paint buck is the same thing with everything is if you whoosh it around, the paint's going to come up to the top. Just going to add a little bit more of the blue. There we go. That's the color I want. Okay. So again, just going to roll it to get it quite fine because I'm going to go in between in this area here. And then I'm going to dab it a little. And I want that to be a little bit more opaque. So I'm going to take my wet brush here and I'm just going to spread it around a little bit. Lighten it up a little tiny bit. Like so. Again, just going in, doing that really light area. And you can definitely lighten this by, of course, putting the more water on your page or on your paintbrush. You don't have to use a wet brush to do that. I just find it's a little tiny bit easier because then I'm not adding more color, I'm just moving the color around a little bit. And then I can pick up a little bit of color from here. Move it around. Trying not to get too much into the line area of the outer part there. Like so. I'm going to add a little tiny bit more water to this and try to thin that out a little bit on my brush because it's really thick on my brush. And I can't get it as thin as I want it to get into these little tiny areas. Like so. Good night, Bonnie. Sleep well, dear. Thank you for coming and hanging out. I appreciate you. All right. Take it you don't like Swiss cheese. All right, I'm going to take a little bit more water. Just going to roll this very, very fine because these are really tiny areas in here. All right, now we're going to go up in here. Hopefully you can still see what I'm doing. Yeah, I like Swiss cheese. I have a tendency not to like blue cheese. That's just not one I enjoy. Um, Another one I'm not fond of too, and I can't remember what it's called. I like a good ham and Swiss. Just painted her hair. I don't want to paint her hair. There's a sheep's cheese I'm not fond of too. Try not to get it in the hair. Not doing good on not getting it in the hair. I'm just going to say her hair is see-through there. Oh, head cheese is gross too. Yep. You're not you're not the only sane one here. Everybody has different tastes. Yeah, I like extra at the sharp whites. That's good. All right, so I'm washing off my brush. Make sure it's very, very clean. I'm going to take my water brush. I'm going to squirt it on there for a bit. Wipe it off. Just going to quickly go over the light areas here. Make sure I have all of the area filled in. And then we're going to let it dry for a bit. While it's drying, we'll move on to the skirt. Then we'll come back up and add the shadow areas as well as the shimmer. Okay. Alright, so let's do the skirt area. We're going to start with this one here. It seems that may not have put enough water on it. But we're going to put that there. I may need to put a little bit more water on that. Just break it down a little bit more because it's a little thick. But it's a nice dark teal color. Just try not to get the brown into it. I'm going to have to take a washcloth and wipe off my mat here soon. I'm getting too many colors. Again, just roll it. I can, of course, move that up too. So just roll it. Try not to drop it. Get a nice thin point. Then we're going to come down through here. Move with the movement of her skirt. And the shadows. Now typically I would suggest that you do your light colors first and then your dark colors, because your light colors may take over your dark colors, but sometimes it's good to blend them at the edges to get that medium color. Thank you. And of course, if you end up washing it out too much with your light colors, you can always go back into it as well. And darken it up. Now we're going to take a little bit of water. We're going to go into our light color here. And we're going to go up here and we're just going to mix it in. We're going to pick up a little bit more of that dark. And a little bit more of that white, like so. Now it's not as white as this, but it's still a lighter tone of this blue here. Went over the line, but that's okay. And I should be using a bigger brush for this, so I'm going to grab a bigger brush. Just because sometimes with bigger areas, working with a larger brush makes the movements a little bit easier. And it allows you to pick up more water and hold more water. So you get a smoother movement. Like so. Now we're going to mix up some more. So we take our light, we take our dark, take a little bit more light, a whole lot more water, and we pick up more dark. Pick up a little bit more light. And a little bit more of the dark. And we just pick up some of that off of there. Pick it up off of there. A little bit more of water. I'm just going to put a little bit more color in there. Then we'll take some of the dark. So try to make sure I get straight dark here. There we go. Just going to put in a couple of little areas of the dark here. And then I'll take my water brush and I'll blend it in. And Mr. Choo Choo says hello. Alright, I'll wash that off. And then we're going to take our water brush. Thank you, Christina, I appreciate that. Take our water brush, make sure that we got it nice and clean. And then we're just going to drag it together. Like so. Just softening up those lines and those folds. You know, they're folds in clothing, they're not supposed to be a harsh line. So you just soften them up a little. Like so. with the shadow. Alright. And there we have our skirt. Now is this dry? Yeah, it's fairly dry. Now we're going to take our number 1 So I'm going to put some water on it, go back into here with the dark color, and then over here with that medium tone. So I want that medium color. And fill the brush with it. Alright, now we're going to come down with that medium color and fill in the lines here. And you know what? I don't like it. It's too close to the other color, so we're going to ditch that. And we're going to pick up this color. We're going to go with a nice dark blue. I think that will stand out a little bit better. Get a nice thin line. More water on it. All this blue going on and Jamie's not here? Where is she? Oh yeah. You don't want to eat anything that makes you want to throw up. It's just not good. some more of the paint and thin it down. Yeah, it always sucks when we can't eat things we enjoy. Alright. Don't mind me if I go all quiet. Just working on the lines, making sure I try to stay in them. Alright. Come down through here. Fill that up again. Needs to be a little bit less on there. Alright, just getting the last little bits done on the shirt here. Well, the bottom of the shirt anyway. Still got the upper part of the shirt to do. And once we get this done, then we'll work on this part of the lower area. Alright, so we've got this here. Trying not to get it too much in the hair. I may have to take a thin line brush and put the hair back in underneath or over top of the blue area here. Trying to do it really lightly so that the hair will show through. still maintain the outfits. Look. Alright, just going to put in a bit of shadowing here. Get that shadow in there. Alright, so we're going to take this darker blue and a little bit of this dark blue. And we're going to do our shadows with it. Like so. And then we're going to come down the back shadow and come up in here. Like that. And then we've got a shadow here as well. And down there. Bring those shadows in. Like that. Then we're going to take this color again and we're going to do her undershirt there a little bit. Now I'm using the paper towel to pick up some of the color and the water because I want it to be really, really light. But I still want to have that blue color. Like that. And same with here on her bands. And we're going to dab it up. Make sure that we have it darker over here and over here. Alright. Then, sorry guys if I'm not paying attention to chat, so I do apologize. Come down through here with that blue-green. Then we're going to take our water brush and we're just going to water brush that a little bit more, soften it up, and then we're going to take our paper towel and dab it off like that. Now for the bottom area here, we're going to, of course, pick up this blue again. So we've got the deep blue here, and we're going to I know there's little intricate things on here. I'm not worried about them right now. I'm more concerned about staying on the edges, on the line. Because we're going to be lifting the paint off of those dark lines that make the pattern on the belt after we get it coated. And then we're going to take our water pen and we're just going to move it around. Once we get a little bit of water on it, then we're going to take our just try not to go up into the other areas because you don't want to have blue up on her belly, like so. Now if that's still too dark for you, you can do it again. This area right here I want to be a little bit lighter than the other areas. Like that. Alright. So we have about 15 minutes left and we've got to let this dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch you over to the main camera here so that you can see what we've gotten done so far in full color. So there we have her so far. We've got her outfit done, we've got her hair done, we've got the start of the nature in her crown done. We've got quite a bit still left to do, and of course we will work on this on Wednesday and that sort of thing. So I will try to get this done between Wednesday and Saturday, of course. We've got finish it Friday and that sort of thing as well. She is doing well. From what I saw of her today, she did a video this morning, and then she was also on she was also on Tanya's stream just before mine. So awesome, Celine. Go get some rest, dear, and I will talk to you later. All right, guys. So I am going to call it a little bit early while we let this dry. And I will be coming back. I'm going to wash off everything off of here because pretty much the only thing we need on here right now is the greens for the rest of the leaves, and then the next colors are going to be completely different than what we have here. So I will be washing this off. I might leave the greens, but I'll be washing everything else off. And maybe the brown, because the brown will work well for the staff. Yeah, so from what I saw of her earlier, she's doing well. So I hope the blues are a good match with the greens. But we will be actually adding some opal colors to her clothes as well as her wings. So, all right, guys. So with that, I would like to say thank you all very much for joining me. I hope that you have enjoyed this painting and and haven't been completely bored. I will continue this on Wednesday and of course on Art Therapy Thursday and on Finish It Friday if we don't get it all done on Wednesday. All right, guys, with that, remember to always like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. And always remember to relax, color, and stay safe, everyone. Until next time, bye bye for now.